Hello there, guys, girls, gamers, everyone, it's me, GenuineParts. We are here in a new visual novel called Kirakira. It's a rock and roll novel, kind of slice of lifey. We will see. It was recommended to me by Natsume Kyousuke, who is an avid and really awesome commenter on my If My Heart Had Wings episodes. And he told me about free visual novels. This one was incidentally the only one I could buy. The others I would have to acquire, which I'm not a fan of. I think the creators should be, you know, they should get money for the work they do. There's an English phrase for that, but I don't remember it right now. Anyway, it gave me a little bit of trouble to record this, so maybe I hope everything records fine. It looks okay so far from my control center up there, and yeah, so I think we should jump in. Thanks again, Natsume, for suggesting this. Thanks, stay awesome. It's really awesome to read your comments every time. I really look forward to that. Hope you keep commenting on those. So yeah, I think I have no more information. Oh yeah, I can tell you what Kirakira means. It means shining or glossy or sparkling in that regard. So I guess it has something to do, you know, with shining stars. So I think we jump in now. Let's click on start. The music is awesome already. Then they come out. Did I miss something? I don't think I missed something. They come out on one after another in the spotlight. Have a second with me. That text is kinda slow. I need this to go faster, because I read much faster than the text appears, and that would make for awkward reading. So let's see what this does. Sorry for that. Should you know, okay. Should have checked it beforehand, but I really jumped in blind. A man named Yagihara comes out first. His short orange hair is spiked up and he has an old army coat over his skin. He runs lightly to the center of the stage and grabs the microphone. Made a horrible bumping sound, I have to.
どうもよろしく。スタージェネレーションです。今日は2番手です。
There's a huge applause just for that. He's not saying much, but the crowd loves it. He must be popular, just like a celebrity. Tonioa is standing next to Yagihara-san. He looks different. Maybe it's because he's not wearing glasses, or his hairstyle is different, or even because of the spotlight. I hope, yeah, you can read that. It looks good. He looks cool standing there with his guitar waiting calmly for the music to start. They look impressive with all the cheering from the crowd, but they are still amateurs and one of them goes to my school. There's no reason to be impressed. I just don't know what the theater culture, so I'm a little shocked. But I know better now. I won't be surprised like last time. That's what I say to myself before they start the show. But they do surprise me. I'm upset about that. I lean against the wall of the theater and feel my heart beating fast. It startles me. I can't tell if the music is great or the atmosphere of the crowd is too enthusiastic. But it is Star Generation on the stage that made all this happen. I see them through the moving black silhouette of the crowd. The spotlight reflects on their sweat. I'm feeling disgusted at first. I don't like the high tension of the crowds and the outlaw-looking fashion Yagihara-san is wearing and the way they act offensively. I am sorry again. Yeah, that's much better. But what's happening to me? I can't turn away from Yagihara-san's voice and the way he sings. I'm completely into the music by the second song, where Tonoya has a guitar solo. I can't tell the difference between Tonoya and the other guitar guy, Koshino-san. I also like Charlie-san's bass. Charlie-san? That's not a... That's a Western name. And Ramanobu. I don't feel repelled about the crowd focusing on the stage, dancing to the music anymore. I'm not trying to memorize them, but I already know the names of the band members. I'm not sure about what's good and what's bad music. But if they make me surprised, then it's my loss. I like living calmly and quietly. So I don't like being jolted or impressed by something. Oh no. What was the... Punk, slang, a young expression. I couldn't read that. Current outline. Wow. Okay. Shikanosuke Maejima's lover called unexpectedly last night to break up with him. He spent the night lying awake, and in the morning he received an email from her. I am at loss. You know, my endeavor to learn Japanese, and I'm making a little bit of progress. I hope it's a tiny bit noticeable. But holy shit, that name is kinda unpronounceable for me at the moment. I will come over to return what I borrowed from you. Maybe this is the last time he'll ever see her. So Majima-san, who just can't give up on her, decides to come up with a plan to somehow turn the situation around. As the appointed time draws near, he waits quietly by himself while getting everything ready, trying to predict the outcome. Then it begins. Oh, oh, oh! This is creepy. You probably don't know this game, but like there is a game called My First Day in Japan. I think it has a title before. I swear the background image is exactly that kitchen. So either this type of kitchen is really, really common in Japan, or it's a reference, like the other way around. Like I think this game came out way before that. So that's quirky, or they just recycled that image. It's not by the same company though. Majima-san is wandering around in the living room restlessly. He has dark circles under his eyes from lack of sleep. Seriously, I'm now really convinced. I will make a screenshot of that kitchen and I will put them side to side right now in the video, because this is freaky. Today is a weekend, but it's winter break. The rest of his family is all out, so he's all alone at home. It's almost the end of the year, and perhaps their relationship is coming to an end as well. However, that's not what Majima-san wants. Well, just a few minutes ago, there was another mail. I just left the house. Since then, he can't even sit still. He looks at the clock frequently and bites on his thumbnail. Okay. He tries to convince himself that God will help him if they're meant to be together. and he just does what he can. However, he can't shake his anxiety. He wishes she'd arrive soon, otherwise he will be exhausted by the time she gets here. Anyway, before she shows up, there's his plan. Oh, here's his plan. He thinks the reason why she wants to break up is because he didn't tell her about quitting the club. He has no proof, but that's what he thinks. Soringo Club. The club is how they met. His high school competed with her school in a practice game and he was one of the star players. Their relationship started when she confessed her feelings to him. That's nice. Initiative, I like that. He quit the club just a few days ago. He didn't mean to keep it a secret, but he just felt uncomfortable about telling her. However, he could tell she was getting suspicious because he was going home early lately. A secret can drive a wedge between people. He knew this all along. So his plan is to tell her the truth sincerely. He just has to tell her the truth. Sorry for not telling you this until now. First, he should apologize meekly. Then he should follow up with his sincere feelings. When she gets emotional and starts crying, that's the cue to ask for reconciliation. That is his plan. He has made her excited and made her cry before. He's confident he can carry out the plan calmly, even when she gets emotional. Things are easy when girls get emotionally moved. Not that he has much experience, but there's no doubt in his mind about that. Maejima-san desperately tries to convince himself. However, her voice on the phone last night sounded so serious. The tone of her voice told him that her mind was made up. She has her mind made up. Can he still change her mind even in this situation? It must be possible. Maejima-san is extremely confident, or maybe he's putting up a bluff. His hands are shaking. He realizes it himself, but he's going to use the lack of sleep as his excuse. He can't control his emotions well because he didn't sleep last night, but maybe that will help him act boldly. Well, there's the signal from the intercom. It's her. That's also really close to my doorbell. Then there's he mustn't act impatiently. He goes to the front door at a normal pace. When he opens the door, she steps in apprehensively. Come in. There's something I need to tell you. Maejima-san wears a nice smile, but he's a nervous wreck on the inside. At this point, she might show reserve. That's okay. This is fine. When I'm done, I'll be going. Something like that. When he was going over each step in his head earlier, there were so many questions at this point. If she doesn't answer clearly, then that means there is an opportunity and he mustn't waste a chance. The English translation is somewhat... Well, it's not bad, it's just, mustn't. In everyday English, I barely come across mustn't. Maejima-san excitedly waits for her response. Also, the art style is not extremely great with the characters right now. It's not bad, but... Well, she looks happy. What? She accepts unexpectedly and steps into the house. She proceeds into the room casually. Yeah, the background, wow. Yeah, it's not bad, the art, but, ooh. I mean, the proportions look a bit off. And I feel like there's some perspective issue here. That I have no idea where the focus lies. Anyway. Maejima-san feels a little disappointed as he leads her to his room, but continues with his plan. He sits her down on the pillow and chats for a little while, then broaches the main subject. He tells her casually yet sincerely that he quit the tennis club. Tennis! Then it's time for her response.
へえ、そうなんだ。
Yes, really. She's drinking the juice on the table without changing her manners. Her manner. Okay. What? Majima-san can't help but feel disturbed. If this was a manga, this would be an extreme close-up scene, but she acts absolutely normal. She isn't even paying much attention to what he just said. What is going on? If she doesn't show some kind of reaction, negative, positive, surprise, or some kind of emotional change, there's nothing he can do. And I'm only good at tennis, and besides, you told me that you like me playing tennis, so I don't know how to put this. This unexpected situation is making Majima-san uncertain, but he tries to feel out her emotion. Otherwise, everything in third person.
なんで？私、前島くんが何部だろうと、そんなの気にしないよ。
Well, so he has the wrong clue of why he left. She is showing her normal smile. Oh, okay. Well, then I didn't need to worry about that. Majima-san can't hide his disturbance. He never even thought he'd get this reaction from her. According to the plan, she should have gotten a little emotional by this time. Then he would continue by talking about his feelings, even adding some memories to make her cry. I'm sorry. But in this friendly chatting situation, even emotional memories won't do anything. Even so, he gives it a shot.
そうだね。そういうこともあったね。
His fears were on the money. She's full of smiles, listening to her memories. If this is how things are going, then quitting the club had nothing to do with the breaking up. It isn't even an issue. Majima-san was completely wrong. Yes, he was. Anyway, according to the plan, she's supposed to be at her emotional climax by now, and he's supposed to ask her bravely to stay with him. However, the plan has already collapsed. Saying something like that in this situation is absolutely out of place. It's obvious. Should he continue with his original plan? Majima-san decided to go through with it all the way. Charging full steam ahead is all he can think of right now. How brave, just like a Japanese army officer. Well, you know, if you don't mind, would you still go out with me? Well, I mean, be my girlfriend again? He says it far from bravely. He doesn't sound anywhere as calm, as forcefully as he planned. Majima-san is obviously frightened. She thinks for a moment. You know, if someone starts to think with that's a no. She's taking rather long. Maybe that means
ごめんね。もう付き合えないよ。
that what I said. Reality is hard. Majima-san was expecting this response, but he still feels chills go down his spines when he hears her say it. So this is what being dumped is like. However, because she had to think so long, he still believes there's a chance. She was too sweet to answer right away. That's it. She knew the answer right away, of course. Stop. Don't even go any further. He ignores his better judgment screaming at him and asks one more time. Her reaction is different this time. She answers without delay.
ごめん。どうやっても合わないと思うんだ。わかんないけど、多分細かいことが蓄積してそう思ったんじゃないかな。性格とかいろいろ。根本的に無理だと思う。
Wow, she's awfully cheerful for just dumping her boyfriend. Maybe we get some insight into that? Those are some fatal words. Little things add up. Not going to work. Those are especially important words. It doesn't help that she's being vague. If there are specific issues, they can be solved. But if they are rather vague, then what's there to do? Ramen noodles are too greasy. This is a problem that can be solved. You could just get less greasy ramen. I don't know why, but I just don't like ramen. What about this? How you can convince someone to eat ramen if this is their complaint? Actually, I just don't want ramen. That's basically it. As long as Majima-san is who he is, it is impossible. That is what it means. Majima-san knew this from the beginning. When she showed no reaction to his confession about the club, he was convinced that she had absolutely no interest in him anymore. She doesn't care if he continues to play tennis, that's why she showed no reaction. There's no use. However, even if he knows there's nothing else to do, he just has to do this. They both know that's just him. The other party is simply thinking of him, and that's why she chose certain words to express her feelings. But that's not good enough for him. He dares to make her say it in a more direct way. Can you tell me more concretely? At what point did you start to feel that way? So is this what you mean? One after another, such cruel questions come out from Majima-san's mouth. Of course, her response is prickly.
自分がそうだからって他人もみんな裏があると思ってるところとか。
Girl, I'm not quite sure how to tell you this, but I'm extremely certain that everyone does have a dark side. I mean, not like we're not going around killing kids or something, but I think everyone has dark thoughts and a dark side and was cruel at one point in his life.
人のことばっかり考えてるふりしてるけど、本当は自分のことばっかり考えてるところとか。
So he's selfish.
理屈としては正しいことを言ってるのかもしれないけど、言われたくないことをたくさん言うし。
And he says things without thinking?
大事なことでも言うときによってコロコロ変わる。
Okay.
要するに、心がない。
Wow. Wow, this is cruel. Ouch. He knows those are his flaws, but this sounds so different. Hearing it from someone else's mouth, she actually says quite a bit more, but for the sake of brevity and to spare his feelings, no more needs to be written. Oh, I see. I understand. Seemed like she wanted to say more, but that was more than enough. Yeah, like, the you have no hardline is kinda crushing. It is like the deadly blow. Majima-san is forced to accept the absolute truth without listening to the end. He shows a fake smile, but he can't hide the damage. The shock from his failed plan and also listening to his flaws have made him completely groggy. But, you know, wasn't there some good stuff? He tried, but she's thinking really hard.
すごく優しいよね。優しいんだけど。
the butt is hurting. She falls silent. Well, that's okay. Sorry. Majima-san withdraws his question, then takes a deep breath once more and bows. Thank you very much for everything until now. His meek attitude slightly puzzles her.
どうも、今までありがとうございました。
So you want to thank him for what? It's like now coming the killing blow? You want to thank him that you now know what not to want in a man? They're both bowing down, sitting on their knees and putting their heads almost to the floor. They look like they just finished a shogi match. Shogi match. Well, everything is over. Majima-san pulls out an envelope from the paper bag with the stuff she was taking home with her. The envelope contained a letter, which he wrote just in case if the plan failed. He was hoping that she would read it when she got home, and somehow his last plea would change her mind. He thought that even if they broke up after a heated discussion, if she read the letter after she calmed down, there might be a chance. Either way, he assumed things would be more emotional. But it didn't go that way at all. He hadn't expected this to happen. It will be freaky to read such a letter after parting this way. She can't read the letter. Although Majima-san is groggy, he doesn't forget to protect himself. He puts the letter, which he spent 3 hours working on, into his pocket. Fortunately, she doesn't notice. Well, I'll walk you to the station.
ご飯一緒に食べないの？
It's unusual for couples that just broke up to eat together. What? He really should have declined the offer. He really should decline the offer. Sure, at that place near the station. But he doesn't. He's too cowardly to do so. Like, what? They go to the usual coffee shop. What? The conversation, the way they pay, everything is as usual, but they're breaking up. It doesn't feel real. Maybe it's not such a big deal to be going out. Maybe going out and breaking up aren't things to make a big fuss over. Their lunch is quite fun. Then she says,
昨日は眠れなかった。
Well, you and me both, sister. Maybe she wasn't as calm about this as she pretended to be. Majima-san feels a little happy. Were you a little nervous?
何が?
She couldn't sleep because of different reasons. Man, who has no heart here? She looks confused. She seems not to understand. Majima-san is disappointed. Holy shit, this is wordy. Majima-san feels gloomy, so he decides to go shopping. He usually doesn't spend much money, but he feels like spending a lot today. Hey, big spender! His ex is going home. The shopping center is on the way to her house, so they got on the same train. Excuse me, did you just go shopping because you can't stay on the same train as her? There's one empty seat. His ex tells him to take the seat. He usually lets her take the seat, but he reminds himself that they've broken up, so he takes the seat. Oh, then he realized there are 2 empty seats in front of him. There's a seat over there. His ex takes the seat across from him. Majima-san would move next to her, but they've broken up, so he stays where he is. She tilts her head, looking puzzled while patting the empty seat next to her. Someone has the wrong idea about the whole thing. And in my opinion, it's her until further information is revealed. Majima-san asks if it's really okay, and she nods. He moves over.
これじゃ不自然でしょ? 別に知らない人ってわけじゃないんだし。
Well, that's about like, I bet over half the relationships end with like getting back to being strangers because, you know, it really hurts. Maybe it's just me and I reveal too much of myself right now. The ex says so while smiling bitterly. You're right. Then, under his breath, I'm so hopeless. Why am I so frightened? I swear this is the same again? 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 Why? How? Same artist? Same what? I mean, it looks definitely... Holy shit, it's the same artist, isn't it? Now that I see... Now I see it, it's the same artist. I bet like $50 that's the same artist. Then they arrive at the station when they part. But there's no dramatic farewell. It never knew there's a calm way to break up. Wow, and this episode is getting longer because, you know, getting into it, I'm really excited. But I will stop here for now, and I thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next episode. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode because it's a new episode. You know, leave a like and subscribe to me if you want more of it. I will make more of it anyway, probably. Except if no one watches it at all. But yeah, thanks so much for watching. I will see you next time. Bye bye.